Hey everyone, got the tractor a little torn apart again today, trying to problem solve and figure out why, when the tractor is running, the battery is not being charged by the alternator. So trying to figure that out, and I think by process of elimination, I have figured it out finally. So the first thing I did was take the alternator off. This is a Motorola model, which I think is original to the tractor actually, so it's pretty old. But I did take that to a starter and alternator shop and had them bench test it. And they said that it is fine. So came back home and put it back on. That's not the problem. So the next thing, it either has to be the voltage regulator or the wiring to and from the alternator. And so the wiring is a little bit harder to kind of figure out unless you can find the grounding and, clean that up and make sure that's good to go. But the first place I went next was the voltage regulator, which on this tractor is external to the alternator. Most newer vehicles and equipment, anything with an engine really, the voltage regulator is internal or attached to the alternator itself. In this case, it's old enough that it is an external regulator, and they have it really tucked up real nice and deep here in the dash here. So what the voltage regulator does in simple terms is essentially it tells the alternator when it needs to charge the battery. So it will basically send charge to the diodes on the alternator and basically say, hey, the battery is low enough, you need to charge it up, and when the alternator should kick back off. So that's basically the function. It just gives information to the alternator. So we're trying to replace it, or we're trying to figure out if that's the issue really. And so in order to do that, in order to check if the voltage regulator is the issue, I found the plug and I looked in the book, and basically what we try to do is take a jumper wire, which I got here, and jump the circuit between the regulator connector and the field connector on the alternator and basically if the tractor is running and the charge goes up across the battery, which I've got a battery tender here hooked up, so it's nice and easy for me to see the voltage across the battery. If I jump that, it would act as if the voltage regulator is working, and if the charge goes up, then I know it's the voltage regulator. If it stays the same or doesn't do anything, then I know it's got to be the wiring, because the alternator was bench tested and deemed to be okay. So now we're going to do that test.